So there's going to be two camps in this video. There's going to be the red pillars who are just going to attack this girl because she gave up a golden opportunity, which I don't believe was really a golden opportunity in my opinion. And then the other camp that just looks with a little bit more nuance like me and just takes the economy and the reality of what's going on. And it's not that shocking that she made this decision outside. So subscribe to the channel. We are going to react to PhD dropout to OnlyFans model. It's not that shocking.
I've dropped out of my PhD. I've cried so much over this decision to quit my PhD, because it's a stressful decision, not that I'm particularly sad about it.
Don't sound sad at all.
I'll get into all of that in a bit later, but moving on to doing OnlyFans and content creation full-time, it's not just a career choice, it feels kind of like a gamble on the direction of my entire life. Some days I wonder if I'm making the right choice. When I open LinkedIn and I see the pages of all of the people who are my age, who already have 3 years into their careers and are climbing the ladder with senior level titles, it stirs something in me. I start to feel a twinge of jealousy, imagining what it would be like in their place. I've spent the last couple of years in
That's fair. I think people do that all the time, especially if you see people from high school or something and they became something like that. You're looking like, oh, I wish I was like that, or I wish I was like that. Me personally, I'm just like sick. That's amazing. Like I knew this person. We were just, I don't know, doing stupid stuff in high school, and now you're this. Like, God bless. It's an awesome thing, but that's a natural thing. I don't think she's wrong for feeling that.
In grad school, whereas many of my colleagues from undergrad got jobs directly afterwards. So I guess I will always have those advanced degrees with me. But I can't say that I don't like the idea of wearing a polished suit and walking into an office where I have people working with me and working on a project, or even the alternative route of becoming a professor and having students work for me, where I have my own lab and I teach my own course, and the thought of sitting with my team to come up with solutions to a certain problem or even find something new.
Okay. So it sounds like she had no problem continuing on the PhD route. She actually really likes it. From what it sounds like, she would have, had no problem waking up every morning and doing whatever it was, climbing the corporate ladder in the field that she was going. So then you're probably all thinking, why the freaking, not trying to swear on YouTube, but why the heck did she go down the OnlyFans route? And honestly, guys, money. It's money. It's freaking money. Look at the economy. Eggs are $10. Eggs are $10. Rent's $3,000. The down payment for a house is $300,000. And then from there, your monthly mortgage is going to be stupid. I'm not even going to give you an amount. It's going to be stupid. It's probably all going towards freaking interest too as well. Money. It's money.
Learn something new and then applying that knowledge. And writing papers gives a sense of fulfillment, There's some sort of camaraderie in those environments and a structure that I think I'd enjoy. And of course, not to mention the outfits. I mean, come on. I have so many professional outfits that have never seen the light of day just because I have nowhere to wear them to. And of course, I keep buying them. And part of me wonders if I'll miss the chance to experience that life and that lifestyle. But then I start to think about some of the trade-offs. Those same people whose lifestyles I thought I envied are tied to someone else's vision and someone else's pace. They'll spend their lives working for a company, doing things that they don't necessarily enjoy, and of course without the recognition that they deserve. Their work might win someone else fame and wealth, while they stay in the background, expendable. They'll constantly worry about getting laid off, planning their lives around their salaries, budgeting to pay bills, and likely renting a place to live or being tied down to a 30-year mortgage. Vacations are rationed and squeezed.
Hold up. So yeah, thanks for just essentially getting at, what I just said. But what she is trying to do is, and this is where you're going to lose me here, Miss PhD. You're trying to justify doing OnlyFans, right? For just starting a business. What she's explaining is just starting a business. Starting a business and avoiding the rat race, right? You're avoiding the 9 to 5 and just creating your own schedule and your own freedom is starting a business. Now, you don't need to do OnlyFans to do that. You could have done anything under the sun. You could have just utilized your PhD and the knowledge from school and made a YouTube channel and, I don't know, spat some free game. That would have been a business. You showing yourself online is solely because it makes you the most money with the least amount of work. That's it. There is no other justification other than the 1% of girl or female who just genuinely wants to show herself, which I don't even think it's 1%.
Into limited paid time off days. My path, on the other hand, is different. It's freer in ways that feel both liberating and, to be honest, a little terrifying. I'm no longer bound by the expectations of an academic institution or the constraints of a corporate office. I can comfortably wake up each day and decide what I want to learn, diving into topics that genuinely interest me and not just those deemed important by a funding agency or a company's bottom line. And when it comes to research, I'm no longer bound by the pressure to publish for the sake of tenure or grant applications. I can write papers in...
I haven't watched this, so like this is the first time we're watching this together, guys. And at this point, she had me in the beginning, and she may have tunneled us in, but this is a cop out, honey. You're just basically excusing making a business for OnlyFans being a business, which technically, yes, it is a business. You did start a business. I'm not taking away from that, but you started the one that is going to be the most damaging to you. It's just, how many times are you going to see a Mia Khalifa down to just Mia Khalifa and not realize what's to come at the end of the day? So what's your dollar amount? That's really what it comes down to for females, which there probably isn't no dollar amount. They just want as much money as they can get. They're not seeing 10 years, 20 years down the road. And I hate to sound like a red pillar, but that's the honest truth. That's the reality of it. If you think to live for 50 years and for 10 to 15 years, you're basically rushing all that money you're going to make, I guess, grinding the long route for, I don't know, an additional 20 years, right, into one. Cool, you're gonna live the fastest, most amazing life, right? That's cool, that's awesome. But then for the remainder of it, when you do want to look for that respect, family, maybe have a kid or whatever, all that good stuff they bring up, you're going to struggle with that. And if you truly, truly sat there and said, I don't give a flying fuck, then more power to you. You're going to have the best life in the world, right? For you, right? But if you do, and it's hitting you in the head, that's your instinct telling you it's not the right move to make. It's not. It really isn't.
Independently, not because I need to meet a quota, but because I genuinely want to contribute to something. Everything that I create will reflect my own ideas, my own creativity, and my own ambitions. And of course, the best part is that everything I build will be entirely my own. I'm not contributing to someone else's legacy or bottom line. I'm building my own brand and my own future. And all of the effort that I put directly benefits me. The rewards are mine to enjoy.
But whoever her manager was sold her on this. This is literally just her regurgitating the speech that he sold. It's just in my opinion.
For example, although my OnlyFans has been a side project while I pursued my PhD, I've been able to make over $1 million. With that, I helped my family pay off their mortgage, I bought myself a car, and thankfully I avoided taking out any student loans. Now I have an investment portfolio and I'm planning on buying my own house soon. So all of these achievements are just reminders of the tangible rewards of carving my own path and the freedom that comes with it. But even with this freedom, I am genuinely terrified. I fear not having that external competition, no one to measure myself against, and that it will make me complacent. Will I push myself enough?
What are you talking about? You have the top number one OnlyFans models. You have the baseline mid ones. You have the low bottom feeders. There's so many individuals that you can show your body towards, or I guess towards other men, right, to compete with these. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, no, she's right. You're trading hard work, the feeling or the gratification of achievement, true achievement, for quick money. That's what it is, right? You know, once you buy the car because you bought it, once you get the house, once you pay for mom's house and dad's house and brother's house, once you buy all that shit, which could probably be done within like a couple of years, right? That's when the sad's gonna hit, because material stuff just does not truly bring you happiness. It amplifies your day while you're, I guess, if you're blessed enough to have family, friends, and all those other stuff, right? When you have money so you can go on trips with them, right? That makes life amazing. But it's the friends and the family plus the money, right? That comes together, right? And I know this may not be the best example because she can do that, right? But eventually it caps out and it taps out on the money side, and then you realize all you want is a family and friends. But people may not want to be around you in certain instances. They don't want you around certain associations or associating around with certain individuals. They're not gonna want you. Your girlfriends are not gonna want you around their friends. They're not. They're not, like, and that's even down to like family, like aunts and all that shit. Like, you're not looking in the long term on the lack of respect you're going to have and the potential loneliness you're going. Psychologically is very bad for humans. You can't sit by yourself, you know, in your head for too long. So once again, if she is okay with all this shit, more power to you. You're gonna have the best life. But if you're thinking of any of these things, then just stop. Just, you probably already fucked, but just stop. The less videos, the easier you can clean up or try.
Without the pressure to outperform others. And of course, there's also the opposite case, that my drive for more will take over. What if I never feel satisfied, always chasing that next milestone, the next goal? Will I lose sight of myself and values in that relentless pursuit? Of course, yes. I want to enjoy the life I'm building and feel the rewards of my labor, not just keep pushing forward endlessly. Then there's also the fear of settling. What if I get stuck in a place that feels just right but not great? What if I accept less than I know I'm capable of? And what if, in trying to avoid that, I push myself into something that I'm not entirely comfortable with, forcing myself to fit in a mold that doesn't feel natural? It's overwhelming, but when I look at the bigger picture, I know I'm better off than most people my age, or even those that are far older than I am. That's part of why I chose to leave academia. Just for some reference, a professor in the US earns around $100,000 on average, but the job isn't what most people imagine it to be, or at least it's not what I thought it would be. Instead of spending their time diving into research or contributing to new ideas in the field, most of their energy is spent writing grant proposals and fighting for funding, which, based on my first-hand experience working with several professors, these funds often go to those at more prestigious universities, regardless of whether they're more qualified. Additionally, their students...
Money, guys, once again, money makes the world go around. Even down that, she would have had some sort of roadblock with money. So you can just see why this funnel, this avenue is just such a lucrative one, that is just having women, you just kind of jump into this field because it's just dodging all of these hurdles. And hurdles suck. And humans, we try to avoid hurdles. We do whatever we can to make life easier for us. That's why we invent things like cars and you know, house and TV and the mic and all this stuff that I'm using now to make this video.
Often do majority of the hands-on work, and the professor acts more as an administrator. It's a life filled with constraints and obligations, not the idealized pursuit of knowledge I once dreamed of. So what about working in the industry? Well, the reality is that it's no better. Big tech, for all its allure of innovation and opportunity, is a world where the individual contributions are mostly invisible. The work you pour your heart into is rarely attributed to you. Instead, it pads the pockets of the executives who sit at the top, taking the credit and the glory for your work. Employees are treated as interchangeable, expendable. Every job comes with that silent anxiety of layoffs, the knowledge that your position is only as secure as the next quarterly earnings report.
Unless you're going to start something yourself, like just absolutely, then of course someone is going to benefit the top. That's just how it works, because they're the ones who built it. To even go further, the system in itself that we live under because we don't live under freedom, we live under liberty. That's freedom within a confinement is how I see it, right? Since we live under this liberty, right, there's at some point you're gonna have to pay the man at the top, right? So there's no way of avoiding that anywhere, right? So you're not really saying much to say that, but I get what she's saying. I work for YouTube. I barely get seen at this point. Hopefully I do grow. At the end of the day, if I can make a buck being able to talk about whatever I want to talk about, that's what I want to do in life. I want that freedom. Everything that she's saying is why I'm doing this and why I want to do this, because no longer or ever want to have to really experience this, and right? Because when you do it for long enough and you're someone who wants some form of individuality, or you have individuality and you want to kind of see something come of your own work, you're not going to find that at a 9 to 5. It's going to strip the soul from you over time. And then if you're not wise enough to catch it, you end up staying. And if you, I don't know, if you make a good life with that and you're okay with it, eggs are $10, then, more power to you. But trying to find what you truly want to do in life, at least attempting it, is something that you should always do. Now, her jumping out of the whole PhD game to do that isn't a problem. I commend her for that. The avenue she chose was just a shitty one.
A precarious, thankless existence. One that I think would stifle my creativity and autonomy. I know that I'm choosing something harder, but in the end, more fulfilling. This journey isn't easy, but it's entirely mine. I wasn't born into a wealthy family or handed opportunities on a silver platter. Every step forward I take, every milestone I reach, will be the result of my own vision. That thought on its own is intimidating, but it's also incredibly empowering. It's a reminder that I have the freedom to carve out a life of my own on my own terms. A freedom that so many people will never experience because they're just too afraid to break the norms that are set by society. And
I thought she would have had more substance towards the tail end of this, but it's clear that she, once again, as I said, is trying to dodge accountability. Right? She clearly is trying to deviate from the fact that she's doing OnlyFans with the fact that it is a business. And once again, there's nothing innately wrong with it if you're not a moral person and you don't care and you just want to make money in this life. Everyone's going to live their own life and do whatever they feel like is the right way of doing that. And it's not really on us to judge, right? You have the ability to, freedom of speech, go nuts, right? And you could even break down the context of, because she is putting herself on the internet, why this is a stupid idea, like I'm doing. But at the end of the day, it is her choice. She's going to make the choice. She's going to reap the repercussions, and then she's going to deal with it. Like Mia Khalifa. That's just essentially what's going to happen. But madam, I don't like the fact that you are just trying to play this off like you're just starting a business. You are not starting a lemonade stand, right? You are not starting a Yu-Gi-Oh card trading shop, right? You're not even starting like a small film production company. Well, technically you are. But you just messed up, in my opinion, when you took off the clothes to do it, when you just joined the OnlyFans. I know you're not cooking food on this. Be real. That's where the mess up is, in my opinion, right? At the end of the day, you're going to do what you want, but that's just not the right way to do it. There's other ways.
And perhaps most importantly, I need to learn to be kinder to myself. I have the tendency to be overly critical, always pushing myself to do more, to be better. But I'm realizing that this growth doesn't always come from harshness. It also comes from compassion. And I know that if I want to thrive in this new chapter, I need to give myself permission to rest, to make mistakes, and learn from them without the guilt or self-punishment. This life I'm building is like a masterpiece in progress. Every choice I make, every challenge I face, and every success I achieve will be a reflection of me. There's no blueprint, no guarantees, but that's what makes it exciting. It's mine to create, and I know deep down that it'll be worth it.
Listen, that sounded beautiful. That was like a masterpiece of something you tell yourself in the mirror to get through the day. But life is going to eat the shit out. That's just the reality of the situation. What you are doing, the avenue you are going down, it has already been shown many times from other women coming out and tell you what the end result is. It doesn't change. It's the same end result because people's perception is not going to change. It may get a little bit more less I guess, Salem witch trials, if you want to be extreme, but in the back end of everyone's mind, they're still thinking the same. So you are trading your dignity, your integrity, your pride, your respect, all that good stuff, your morals for quick cash. And you can dodge it or hide behind the fact that it's a business, which everything you said was correct. She was like almost not incorrect about anything she said. If you like applied it to any other job other than prawn, like any other job other than prawn, where you just don't give up your respect after the fact, and you would have been fine and dandy. But just she's dodging. She's not necessarily accountability, because she's straight up, it's saying it is what it is. But I guess just being blind, just being a little blind. But I don't know. What do you guys think? She gave up her PhD to do OnlyFans because the PhD ain't paying bills. It ain't gonna pay the bills nowadays. What she's doing is paying the bills. It's paying the bills really nice. It's paying her family's bill. So you're gonna sit there and say, wag the finger at her, but what are you really gonna get out of that? There's just too much good going on, at least in her eyes, and so she's not gonna see the moral loss, right, and the repercussions. So God bless her, man. I hope she figures it out. I hope it's not as bad as I think it's gonna be for her, but bad decision, ladies. Anyone who is gonna get into it or think about it, don't do it. Just struggle like everybody else. There's a bigger pot at the rainbow. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, guys. I'm gonna splice this one out for you guys and get it posted. It is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas. God bless you. Take it easy. I like booty.